hey, so you've just watched how to get into the industry and how all the different ways how to do that, right? So now you want to know, if you want to be a PA, how to be a great PA, right? So pretty much one of the best things you got to do is just be down for anything. There's going to be a ton of things that you are requested to do that are either difficult or take long or just plain embarrassing. Don't get me wrong, if you don't feel safe doing something on set, you automatically can say, no, I'm not going to do it. And your employer should respect that. I'm going to say that. You're going to do a lot of long hours. One of the most important things I learned on set from other people and such is don't go to your employer and say, when do you think we're going to be done today? Don't do that. Don't do that. That is one way to not get called back the next day. I could see that being, a similarity in like a 9-to-5 job. When do you think we're going to be done? I could see that. In this, you're shooting. If they want to push overtime, they can do it. They can ask the production, there's a whole process. They can ask the production manager and, go further. There is obviously a limit, but what you should expect every day in a PA day is 15 hours. Yes, I said 15 hours. I know it's long, but I would expect that and expect to go over that. That would be your overtime. If this is automatically like, no, I'm not doing that long of hours, then I would get off this video right now. So yes, the amount of hours is crazy. I will add that some of the things that you get to see amongst those hours can be pretty cool, depending on how much you're into film and what you want to dive into. Some of the things that I've seen on set are priceless. Like, I'm never going to see them again. It's just like that type of wow. You know what? I'm glad I came to work today and I saw that. I know I'm probably so tired, but I saw that, or I met that person, or I made that other connection. It's just constant growing, just keep on going. That's actually one of the reasons why I like it so much is, well, not all the time, but I do like it because in the industry, a lot of people are just constantly leveling up, going to a higher level, which is kind of contagious in a lot of ways because people go and do amazing things and you just say, met them at this level, now they're at this level, and it just helps you, want to get to the next level with them. Another thing to be a great PA is your personality. I brought this up in the previous video, but your personality is huge. You can be one of those people that gel with everyone on set. Let's say one of your jobs is to be at a door and make sure no one goes out or comes in when we're rolling, meaning they have already said rolling sound. So everything's going, the camera is on, and you need everyone to be quiet so no one's going to go in and out that door. That is your job. No kidding, that'll be one of your jobs, most likely. And yeah, if you gel really well with the crew or whatever, most of the time they come to the bosses or whatever and say, hey, she's really good, or hey, he's good at his job, or not because of, I should say, the personality, but if you gel with everyone, that they want you to stay longer because you spend so much time on set that you pretty much create your set family. Yeah, it's good to have a good personality. 100%. Another thing is stay off your phone. As much as you can, stay off your phone. I get it. We know we're constantly on our phones all the time. But if you're new and you're trying to get in and stay in, I would not do that. For example, I've had a boss who hated phones, and even one guy had his phone, fired him on the spot. Yeah, don't use your phone. You should be, what they say is constantly look busy. So yeah, it's hard to constantly look busy. Let's go back to that example of, let's say you're on a door and you have to look after that door, and let's say, okay, we're turning around. Which means if the camera's shooting this way, they're going to shoot it from the opposite angle or a different angle. So you have a little bit of time to either ask to go to the bathroom, which is 10-1. That's another thing. If you're on the radio, you're going to have a radio. Say your boss, hey, go 2. So you switch it to channel 2 and you go, hey, can I go 10-1? And either you have to wait till they come replace you, they take your spot just in case they're like, okay, we're going to roll and you're not in your spot. That's a big no-no. Don't do that. But sometimes if you know that, what's happening and you know how this set is going and they take like 10-15 minutes to turn around, then yeah, I would still let them know that you're going to 10-1 or whatever. But yeah, you kind of get to know the flow of sets. But the thing of constantly looking busy is if, let's just say in your area, if you're at the door still, there's dirt, or when they're still turning around, you can kind of still stay in your area, but clean up like garbage. There's tons of garbage on sets all the time, which is terrible for me to admit, but it's the truth. It's the truth. Go clean up some garbage, which is always good to have gloves. If you have gloves, especially now with the COVID-19 thing that's going on, you're probably going to need to have gloves to protect yourself. If there's dirt, sweeping, if they're turning around and you know that, or you hear on the radio that the tents, because you're usually in charge of the tents, which cover Video Village, some of the actors for the green room, stuff like that, they're going to be in shot and they're going to need to move. If you hear your boss go, all PAs fall in, that is your okay to leave your spot, fall into set, and move the tents either to a different spot where they're not going to be shot or in shot. Basically, just make sure you're listening to your radio all the time, listening to the lingo, and it'll keep you on track with the day, and then you can focus on, oh, well, they just did that, so obviously we're going to move this way. So yeah, the tents will have to move next time we turn around. You know, like just certain things, just constantly thinking ahead of everything, right? Oh, another thing is that being a PA, sometimes you spend a lot of time on your feet. I shouldn't say sometimes, all the time you're going to be on your feet. It depends on each job what your boss is like, meaning if you're in a studio, which is all contained, you know, you got massive walls and there's a set inside and you're stuck at a door, they'll probably give you a chair. The majority of the time you won't have a chair. You can request for one if it's, you know, not that bad of a day or whatever. I just don't think you should request for one immediately. Maybe later on in the day. It just shows that, you know, you're good. You can stand for a while, you know. A little bit of old school in a lot of the bosses, like, no, you don't need to sit, you're fine, blah, blah, blah. I get it. Some people need to sit down, that's fine. That can be your problem to deal with on the day. But it's another thing also where if a producer comes around, which is obviously some producers are in charge of the money, or the production manager comes around and they're in charge of where the money goes, how many people get a certain amount in their department. For example, if we had 7 PAs in a studio and there are people in our department walking around looking like there's nothing to do, or we're chatting at Crafty. Crafty is the tent where there's food and snacks because we work long hours. You're going to need some energy. If they see like crowdedness, they can let your boss know that they are cutting numbers, which sucks for your team. Meaning, so let's say they cut 2 numbers. Now it's going to be that much harder on you guys to keep everybody quiet when we're rolling, because a lot of people still don't get it to this day. When we're rolling, you gotta shut up. You gotta stop working, gotta stop doing, because when they get the shot, the closer you get to going home. And that includes them who are making the noise. You have to be patient with those people. It's hard, trust me, be patient. You don't want to get cut numbers. The thing of constantly looking busy is very good to have. Or if you know who the higher ups are, the producers, the PM or whoever, just be aware of what you're doing. Or if you've talked to someone in Crafty for too long, get back to your spot, especially if you're new. They technically know when you're new. They usually give you a little bit of a leeway because you might not know, right? That's why I'm here. That's why I'm trying to give you a heads up. Don't take massive amounts of time either when you get a break. The way I was taught in my jobs previous to this job was when you get a break, you go either to the bathroom, go get a snack, and you come back. Or if you're a smoker, go for a smoke, you know, go do whatever you want. I don't know what it is with the people these days that take half-hour breaks. Usually the person that is spelling you off is a little bit higher than you sometimes. I'm not going to say all the time, but sometimes. And they have stuff they got to do. Usually it's paperwork or getting back on set if it's the on-set key, or if the off-set key, it's paperwork. Or the van driver, he's got to go back to his van. Like, it's a job. You have to remember it is a job. Sometimes it can be lax in some areas, but it is a job. People got to go to work and stuff like that. You still have to be respectful. Don't, you know, you can have those people that come and spell you off, and, you know, if you're not back in 10 minutes, you know, they're mad. No, you know, take your time, but just don't push it, because they'll remember that and and that'll be one of their factors if they want to keep you or not keep you. It's also very hard because being a PA, you can be replaced so easily because there's so many of us. That's why I'm trying to give any of the newbies what I know, so that when you're on set, you can stay on set or stay on a set family. Let's say that it's just Flash or whatever show you're on. You can stay there and they like you and they'll teach you more than what I can teach you now. That's one of the goals. If y'all liked what you just saw, please like and subscribe and click on any of the new... It's boring. Click on any of the links below. There's plenty of more to come. Yeah, enjoy. Everything is here for you guys.